be thankful. I wish this class the very best. Thank you. The other night at 11:45, I got a text message. I was watching a Pirate game. Somebody wanted to know if I was still awake. They wanted to know if they were allowed to be funny with their speech or if they had to make it almost sacred. Now, I said, no, you can be funny, but I'm going to rope you in a little bit. So next up is our president of our senior class. I love this guy, and you'll love his speech. Jake Berlin, come on up.
All right, how's everybody doing? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and family, teachers and students, Isabel, Sherwood, administrators and board members, welcome to the Comedy Central Roast of Wilmington Area High School. I am Jacob Berlin, and yes, my robe is wrinkled, but as you can see by Mr. Fennick, wrinkles are a sign of wisdom. And yes, was he wise for forcing me to make this speech much tamer than it was going to be. As your senior class president, I've been tasked with the duty of recapping the events of these senior school careers and reminding you all to remember the legacies they will be leaving. Now, I know you're all probably thinking this is going to be a disaster, and you're right. But I can assure you that it will be nothing compared to that $4 million asbestos party we paid the construction workers to throw last year. I'm going to highlight some key components of the Wilmington senior class. But first, let me take a selfie. I could say, and even more that I should, I'm going to make this brief, because if you all wanted to sit in uncomfortable chairs and watch Wilmington get roasted for 2 hours, you could have just gone to a varsity basketball game against West Middlesex. Before we get too far into things, there are a few people I'd like to thank. First of all, our valedictorian, Alanna Elliott. I'd like to thank her mom for writing my speech. Secondly, Westminster College for allowing us to use their beautiful facility. We would have held it in our high school auditorium, but the temperature hasn't yet reached the 112-degree minimum it takes to turn on the air conditioning. Not to mention, if we would have held this on the same stage as the drama department, we would have had to hire Brenda Hickman to direct it on a $20 budget. If you didn't get that joke, it's probably because you didn't see our critically acclaimed production of Anything Goes, but that's all right. Mrs. Patton didn't see it either. Along with everything else in gym class. Also on our stage are the always popular choir and band, with each member this year being able to wear the title of a superior adjudication rating. This may be worn over top of the new band uniforms and choir robes, which were recently acquired, and offer a fresh and vibrant look for the arts department. This appearance is in sharp contrast to what we refer to in the hallway as the sewage lockers, not just because of the smell that comes out of Jordan Greens, but because of the interesting selection of yellow and brown paint. Now, these colors were chosen just like any other decision's been made at Wilmington, by stuffing a pile of options into a bingo tumbler and choosing at random. In case you haven't seen these new band and chorus pieces yet, the colors are standard blue and gold. Standard, of course, meaning that the blue and gold is completely different from the uniforms of the band front, baseball team, football team, track team, basketball team, volleyball team, and cheer squad. Yes, another event of the year. In case you haven't heard, in 2012, the PIAA officially sanctioned cheerleading as a competitive sport. So if you go outside and look up in the sky, I'm sure you'll see pigs flying. Speaking of unlikely events, I am proud to officially announce and recognize that we have 105 students graduating here with us tonight. This means that everyone has met the recent Wilmington requirement of needing to pass all of their kidney stones. Keystones. They've all passed their keystone exams. These tests are being rolled out alongside the brand new Common Core program, which is an ironic name given that it's so uncommon to find a teacher who supports it. Let's see, okay, what else happened? Oh, in December, the #1 song in the country was Happy by Pharrell, coincidentally the same month Mrs. Taylor took her maternity leave. Around that time, we were in the middle of one of the worst winters in recent history. We had more freezing temperatures, snow days, and winter storms this past year than any other time in our school careers. In other words, a delay or cancellation for every nationality Ciara Wagner thinks she's a part of. It may seem like I'm missing some important events from this year, but it's probably because our class historian, Kaitlyn Muscarella, missed nearly half the year with as many creative excuses as she could possibly come up with. I mean, really, Kaitlyn, you've had so many chiropractic appointments. What more do they need to fix? At this point, your back is so straight, I had to file a bullying report against it. Classroom attendance in general is not one of our strongest qualities this year. While the grade certainly has many positive attributions, we've had our share of negligence, disrespect, skipping, sleeping, failing, easing, procrastinating, goofing, tiring, and a general lack of care or concern. But enough about Rocco and Dimitri. Procrastinating alone has taken over my life as well, most clearly in the form of writing this speech at 5 in the morning yesterday. Take it from someone who does everything at the last minute, from designing my first place FBLA website in the hotel room on the day of states, to starting a semester's worth of FCS work the week grades were due, to blowing up my prom date in the car at Grand March. Is working under pressure a bad thing, or is it a technique of motivation as well? I tend to think that procrastination and stressful time management skills are a testament to all of the activities in which our students are involved. Each of these students has made up the life and breath of the Wilmington experience because each has tapped into a vein of accomplishment and achievement and excelling at every one of their many activities. I advise you then, ladies and gentlemen, to not procrastinate when acknowledging their successes. Recognize here and now that our class as a whole has left a legacy this school will not soon forget. These seniors consist of members of the drama department who've put on countless professional shows, a girls' track team that's won the region championship 3 times, a girls' soccer team that's won 3 D10 titles in the last 4 years, a baseball team with the section championship title, a D10 winning cheer squad, a 4-time state qualifying Science Olympiad team, a marching band that's performed in Walt Disney World, a Future Business Leaders of America chapter that's increased its membership by over 200% and qualified students for nationals, distinguished young women participants in Junior Miss, and a well-received FFA organization, among many, many other things. Please give them a round of applause for these achievements and more. And here's where things get serious. Each of these unique individuals has made an impact on the lives of nearly every other student in the school, myself included. I can say it is the honest truth that there is no other school quite like Wilmington. There is so much to be missed, but so little to be forgotten. Our senior advisors, Mr. Zehnder and Mr. Kaercher, for being my unrivaled inspiration, along with every teacher by whom I've had the pleasure of being taught. Mr. Fennick and the rest of the administration for never doubting this creative process. Any student from any grade who's ever made this school a bit more special, from Abbey Parsons to Blom. And finally, these seniors. Every student, every smile, every story comes full circle here tonight. This is it. This class has talent, this class has dignity, and this class has class. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy attending tonight's ceremony as much as I've enjoyed attending the Wilmington Area School District for the past 12 years. And now, the words we've all been waiting for since kindergarten. Congratulations, we made it. I'm President Jacob Berlin, and I approve this message.